back to my channel, Lily of the Field. Yes, I am home. Really missing Mexico, actually. I kind of really miss just challenging myself in that way. So who knows, I might be in store for another trip in a couple months, who knows. And you can see my background is a little bit different because I have my certificate from my life coaching program. Speaking of coaching, I still have 50% off my coaching sessions on my site, lilyofthefieldlife.com, and you can use the code LILY50. That will give you 50% off anything on my site. Now, without further ado, let's get into the topic of this video. A while ago, there was this topic going around YouTube. It was a question that was being posed to women. What does a woman have to offer? What does a woman bring to the table? I was watching other femininity channels. They were addressing this topic of, well, how do you respond to a man asking you, what do you bring to the table? What do you have to offer? And I remember coming across this channel that I actually didn't really like, but she said something in response to this question, and she said, well, you know, if a man ever asks you, what do you bring to the table? What do women bring to the table? Don't say anything. Now, her explanation wasn't quite something that I could get behind, but I liked the answer. I liked the answer of saying nothing. Over time, and with a lot of conversation, you might say, with the Lord, I began to realize the both biblical and practical wisdom in responding to that question with nothing. So if that's all you clicked on this video for, there is your answer. Your response to that question is say nothing. Act like you don't know either what women bring to the table. Now, if you're curious as to why, continue watching and I'll go through the 3 reasons why a man who asks you this question is not worth a response. The first thing that I identify when I hear this question, and I have heard it directly from the mouth of a man, by the way, was that if a man has to ask me, what does a woman bring to the table, women generally, what he's also telling me and what he's revealing about himself is that he doesn't know what a woman is. He does not have a revelation of what a woman is, what God has purposed a woman for. So already he's exposed his ignorance. When God presented Eve to Adam, Adam immediately had a revelation of what a woman was, but not just what she was. Adam had a revelation of how he was to respond to her as a man. Then Adam said, "This creature is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man." That's the revelation of what a woman is. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and shall become united and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. A man who is looking for a wife, who is serious about starting a family, will have a revelation about the value of a woman, the purpose of a woman. He will not be confused about this fact, and therefore he will not ask such a question as, what does a woman have to offer? The second thing that this reveals about a man is that he doesn't know what he is looking for. So back in my Proverbs 31 series, I actually talked about this scripture. It is a husband talking about the value of his wife, a capable, intelligent, and virtuous woman. Who is he who can find her? She is far more precious than jewels, and her value is far above rubies or pearls. The first thing that this scripture is saying is that a valuable woman is not an easy thing to find. You cannot just sit in front of or talk to any woman and simply ask her, well, do you have value? And expect to find that. It is as difficult to find a valuable woman as it is to find rubies or pearls or precious stones. An intelligent, capable, and virtuous woman is even more valuable. When you dig for precious metals, when you dig for precious stones, for diamonds, for rubies, you have to know where to look. You have to know how to look, because if you look too roughly, you might damage the stone. And you must know what you're looking for. What is the color? What is the texture? What is the weight of it? You have to be able to test it appropriately as not to damage the stone, but to also make sure that it is what you think it is. And all of these things you must learn to do. For instance, people often get spinel and rubies confused because they're both red and they both have a similar translucence. And so people can get these two stones mistaken unless they are trained to identify the difference between a ruby and a spinel. Some people will wake up thinking that they can just go digging and find rubies. They don't realize that there is a training of the eye, that there is work to be done before you even go looking for the ruby, before you even go looking for the woman of value. There is a certain kind of training of your eye, of your ear, knowing what to look for, knowing what it sounds like. I would like to think that when the writer of that portion of Proverbs was writing this analogy, he was also extrapolating that this is not an easy thing to find. It's not something you wake up and you just, go to the supermarket and, oh, there she is. And for a man to ask this question, well, what does a woman bring to the table? He is only exposing that he does not know what he is looking for. He has not trained his eye. He has not trained his ear. He has not trained his spirit to identify value in a woman. And so just with these two things that I've shared with you, you can understand my thought process. If a man does not know what a woman is, he has no revelation of what a woman is, and he doesn't know what he's looking for in that woman, why am I giving him my time, my interest, my attention? Why would I waste an explanation of my value on such a man? But let's go on to number 3. The third thing that this question reveals about the man who asks it is that he has not prepared a place for the value that he says he's seeking. What person who desires to have a diamond does not have a place where they intend to keep it safe, protected, preserved, in a place where it can increase in value? Who buys gold and silver and does not prepare a place so that its value can increase over time? I'll tell you what kind of person that is. It's a person who does not know what gold and silver is. It's a person who doesn't know what it looks like. That person cannot prepare for something they can't recognize. That person cannot prepare for something they cannot identify. It's impossible. And so I want you to replace these precious stones, as it did in Proverbs 31, with yourself as a woman. A man who cannot recognize what a woman is, or where to find her, how to find her, or what she even looks like, a valuable woman, cannot prepare for her. If this man has not prepared a place for what he seeks as valuable, it means that he does not have any plans to protect or preserve the value of the thing that he is seeking. The likelihood that your value will be abused, misused, neglected, ignored, overlooked, devalued is high, because this man has nowhere to put my value where it can be useful and grow. He has not created an environment that will allow whatever seed I am bringing to flourish. So let me ask you, after a man reveals to you in this one question that he lacks a knowledge and a revelation of what a woman is, that he lacks the ability to identify value in her, and that he lacks preparation to receive her, why would you waste your time revealing that you have any value at all? Think of it this way. If I had a diamond in my possession, and I was considering lending this diamond to a man, and he were to reveal to me that he doesn't know what a diamond is, and then he were to reveal to me that he wouldn't know what it looked like if he saw one, I could conclude safely that he probably doesn't know how to take care of one. Now, why would I sit there and show this man my diamond, explain to him the value, and then give it over to him to see what he does with it? Why? Why would I waste my breath and put my investment in danger? Because after I finish explaining the value of a diamond, oh yeah, his eyes are gonna light up and say, yeah, I'll take care of it. How many of you wouldn't even disclose that you owned a diamond to this fool at all? Answer not a self-confident fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. In other words, you're not helping anyone by trying to explain to a fool. And that is what a man who asks this question is. He has no understanding, no revelation, no vision, no purpose, no direction. He is a fool. Why try to answer a fool in his folly? If he thinks that there is no value in women, allow him to do so. If he has so graciously revealed himself to be a fool, take him at his question and respond in kind. Well, what do you think women bring to the table? What do you think women's value is? I don't know. I don't know. Allow him to pass by every potential wife because he simply does not know how to identify them. Allow him. He wouldn't know what to do with them anyway. So to contrast and to conclude, I'm going to share with you the one thing that makes a foolish man different from a man of vision and purpose and who knows the value of a woman. This man knows what he wants. He knows what he's looking for. He would never waste his time asking a question as foolish as, what does a woman have to offer? What is her value? What does she bring to the table? He would never waste his time because he knows what he is looking for. He does not need to ask the question. He knows how to identify value in a woman. He knows what a valuable woman looks like. He knows how to test it without ruining it. He's prepared a place for her the same way that Christ has prepared a place for his bride, the church. He doesn't need to ask the question, because if he ever encounters a woman who does not have the value that he's looking for, he will waste no time in moving on. And when he discovers the woman that has the value that he's looking for, he will not waste time in holding on and moving forward. There's no need to ask the question, what does a woman have to offer? What is her value? When you know what value looks like in a woman, you just go about searching for it. You're a wise man who understands how the world works, and you know that a valuable person is not just going to pop up on your doorstep. Certainly, as you look for a life partner, you're going to have to get some kind of training, divine and practical, to be able to identify a quality person who's going to be a quality partner in life. And the difference between a desperate, delusional fool and a wise man with vision and purpose is how he has prepared for the thing that he wants. If you encounter a man who wants to do the bare minimum for the most that he can get, he is a fool. Because even if he could get it, he would never keep it. He would either destroy it or lose it. But a man who has prepared can hold on to whatever he wants, and he knows what he wants, and he knows how to identify and how to pursue it. A man who wants a family, but has not prepared a place for that family, whether that be finances or a plan, is a fool. A man who wants a God-fearing woman, but hasn't set foot in a church for the last 10 years, is a fool. That is the man who's going to be asking you, well, what's your value? He does not even know what the value of him is, let alone ask. Of course he's going to ask you. He doesn't know. He's clueless. allow him to continue in his cluelessness. You're not doing anybody a service, not yourself or anybody else, trying to explain your value to somebody who cannot see it. And even worse, who may not even want to see it, has no desire to believe that there is any value in women whatsoever other than whatever he wants momentarily. And I know that this isn't my usual type of video, but I really did feel like I needed to share this message. I don't know what for. Someone out there needs to hear it. I'm sure that's probably why. I might also put some things in from my last few days in Mexico. If I do that, then stay tuned. But if not, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Until next time, have a blessed day. And remember that God has given you everything you need to grow. Bye. Hey guys, so I actually just got back from my photo shoot this morning. I had to wake up so early so I couldn't kind of introduce what I was doing today. My lipstick is probably wiped off. I went to go get breakfast. I had such a fun morning. The photographer was super nice, really sweet. He totally, made me feel like, I was a supermodel. When you see the pictures, I'm not saying I'm a supermodel, but okay, these pictures, they are pretty good. They are pretty good. I think I made a very good choice in photographer. I'm excited to share those photos with you, and I'm just excited to see the photos myself. It was so much fun. I always have felt like I should be a model, but again, if you watched my video on beauty standards, I wanted to be tall. And I ended up being, 5'1". I kind of felt like I was a model today, and that made me really happy. I always feel like when I do photo shoots, I've only done like maybe 2 in my life. The photographer's always like, have you done this before? Like, you seem to be really comfortable. And maybe it's because I'm an actress, I don't know, but I feel like photos are different. They're not quite like acting. Like, you can't rely on your words or your emotions really. I don't know, I've always kind of felt comfortable, and I always feel like the photographer can also tell. So I'm like, why was I born 5'1"? Why not 5'10"? Why not 5'10"? I could have been a model. Anyway, so yeah, let me just stop ranting. I'm happy and excited just that I got to do it. So you'll be seeing those photos probably on my Instagram, on my website. I'm thinking of starting a blog just to get my ideas out. I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I want to share, and to like put them into a video format sometimes is just overwhelming. So I think I just need to write stuff down. I'm leaving next week, so I just have to tidy up, clean things, and put things in order and leave this place at least as good, if not better, than how I found it. Yeah, what an exciting day today.